My name is Brandon from Vegas, and welcome back to the Won't You Be My Neighbor podcast. Today, we're going to be discussing the top 5 steps to becoming a homeowner without losing your damn mind. As always, my co-host Bill is in the building. Bill, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing awesome.
For those of you unfamiliar, Bill is vice president at Cross Country Mortgage. He has been working with loans and housing for over 40 years. The guy knows what he's doing, so we bring him on here so I look smart. Bill, let's kick it right off, right?
Yes.
The biggest panic moment in any first-time buyer's life is when they realize, oh my God, I'm going to have to give up all the avocado toast. Oh my God, I'm going to have to give up the daily Starbies. It's the biggest panic. Trust me, when you look in a buyer's face and they're like, buying Starbucks every day is keeping me from owning a home? Yes, sweetheart.
It is. It makes a big difference.
Tell them,
unbelievable.
Bill, you go through Bill, how many bank statements have you been through? How many people's profiles would you say you've been through?
I've been through tens of thousands.
And how many people can actually qualify for a home? They just don't have savings because they're spending it on garbage.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to me with a lot of people that make good money that they just don't have enough money in their checking account or savings account or any kind of savings whatsoever. But that's typical, honestly. Yeah. It's very typical because there's other things to spend money on. There's so much entertainment out there. Yeah. Why not? And the entertainment is Starbucks and avocado toast and
100%.
All that kind of stuff.
We have a running theme around here, and it's called, if I gave your kid $20, what would they spend it on? You would probably say V-Bucks, Fortnite, Roblox, food and entertainment. Well, guess what, guys? When we go through your bank statements, you're spending your money on food and entertainment. You are spending money like a child. So the 5-step roadmap is financial checkups, getting pre-approved, going to look for your house, making an offer to get a good deal, and finally, how to close the deal, all right? So the step 1 is, to me, the most important step, because without step 1, the first step in the journey, you're not getting to the rest of the steps, and that's the financial check-in. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, man, that means I have to call a lender. The lender is not scary. They are not the IRS, not yet. Right? Not yet. When you first call a lender, they're not scary at all. In fact, they're your granddad. That's why I have somebody's granddad right here on the actual channel, right? When you first contact the lender, they're your granddad. They are literally sitting you down, going over your numbers, and doing everything they can to help you. Ain't that right, Bill?
100%. And a lot of people, they don't want to make the call because they're scared. They're super scared, like, oh my gosh, I better start saving some money, or I better get my credit score. I better pay down, bills. I better do all this. So they try and do DIY repair, DIY savings. And a lot of people just don't have that ability or capability. And so the fear prevents them from making a call to build a plan.
Yes. And then they make huge mistakes when it comes to budgeting. So many people, especially millennials, don't know how to create a budget, right? So they think they're doing this great budgeting, but in their budget, they always factor in like, oh, well, I'll cut my Uber Eats down from 5 times a week to 2 times a week, but I'm still going to eat out every day. It's like, no, you're not budgeting. You were spending way too much money, and now you're just spending too much money. That's not a budget, right? That's not a budget. You're still over your limit of what you need to do to save.
It's changing habits, and habits are hard to change. It takes time to change habits. I love our friend Robert Condell.
Yeah.
When he was bankrupt 3 years ago. Well, now it's been more than that because he's a homeowner.
Yeah.
But he decided to buy a home. And what he did was he decided to basically do what I call micro saving. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but I think you probably are.
I know what micro saving is, but I don't know if Austin knows what micro saving is. So explain it for Austin.
So micro saving is basically saying, okay, I'm going to put away $5 today and $5 every day. And I'm going to try and figure out how to not spend that extra $5.
Yeah.
So they put it in a kitty, or they take it and they transfer it into their savings, because you can do automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings account. And what ended up happening with Robert is he went from $5 to $10, didn't miss it. He went from $10 to $20.
Yep.
And he just kept doing that over and over. And then he made it a game.
Yep.
And then it was a game so that he was able to save money for the down payment in a relatively short period of time. It was pretty incredible. And he just started changing that habit. And the habit that he created was micro savings.
Yep. If you are having a hard time saving money, the best advice I can give to you guys is turning it into a video game. Turn it into a game. Make it a goal.
Make it a game.
You will be shocked at how quickly you realize you can live without the $20. You'll be shocked at how quickly you can live without the $40. You'll be shocked at how quickly you can live without the $80, right? The things that you cut out, you'll realize how little that they matter. It's very much turning into a game. I like that.
And I think, can I add one more thing? I think a lot of people say, okay, I'm going to save $100 or $200 every paycheck.
Yep.
And that paycheck comes, but they've already spent the money and they need the money for something else, and they just don't do it.
100%.
And so they have good intentions, but if you do it like little by little, it can make a big difference. And $5 a day, that's $150 right there.
Yeah.
If you do $10 a day, it's $300 for that month.
Yep.
$20, it's $600.
Start with something small. Try to save $5 a day.
And make it a game.
And make it a game. See how far you can get. The next step after your financial checkup. And here's the thing, before we get on. Start your financial checkup a year before you're ready to buy a house. Don't say I'm ready to buy a house and then go do your financial checkup, because you might not get the numbers that you're looking for. You might not get the numbers that you want. You want to be doing your financial checkup 6 months to a year before you're ready. Don't try to get ready all at once. That's the biggest mistake I see people make. Okay?
And reach out, because you may think that you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You may think you're improving your credit. You may think you're improving your ability to buy a home. But get with someone like me or somebody else that can tell you exactly what you need to get into that home. Don't do it yourself. DIY can be really tough.
100%. All right, step number 2, get pre-approved, okay? This is where Bill or your mortgage lender will tell you how much ramen you'll be eating over the next 6 months to make sure that you qualify for this down payment, okay? This is the big step. This is the big boy move. This is where you go from a Zillow pornography looker to an actual buyer. This is where you go from a window shopper to an actual shopper. If you are not pre-approved, you are window shopping. You are on Zillow watching housing porn for millennials, okay? You need to hear that. If you're on Zillow and Redfin, you're not looking at homes, you're looking at porn. That's what you are. You're a porn addict, okay? The pre-approval is when you start dating real girls, okay? That's when you put yourself on the market, you see what you're worth, and you actually get out there, right? So, Bill, what is one of the biggest hurdles or the biggest challenges in terms of getting pre-approved?
So there's really 3 things you need to get pre-approved.
Yep.
Credit, income, assets. I call it CIA. And it's like a 3-legged stool.
Is that because it's bad for black people?
Oh, yeah, exactly. No, come on, man.
That's a CIA joke. Please don't come for me.
So credit, income, assets, right? And we just go through the analysis. You need those 3 things. It's like a 3-legged stool. Need all 3 legs to make a stool stand. If you have a short leg, it kind of goes like this. So what we're trying to do is make your financial stool as solid as possible so that you can get pre-approved and buy that home. So we get those 3 things together. We look at what your income is. We do a debt to income ratio. It's simple math. We break it down in 5th grade math. We show what you can spend per month on all credit debt, house, cars, credit cards, student loans.
Yep.
Then we subtract out what your current debts are, and we come up with what we call a max mortgage payment.
Yeah.
And then that max mortgage payment, we go, okay, with rates at 5.75%, what does that buy you? And then we go look at a couple of homes and say, okay, you can afford this mortgage payment, and this is the house that you could afford with this mortgage payment.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun, because at the end of the day, do they want a mortgage?
Yeah. Well, they
don't want a mortgage. They want the house.
They want the house, yeah. But you can't get one without the other, right?
Yeah. So it allows them to go look and see what they can buy.
And let me share with you guys a funny story of why getting pre-approved is so beneficial to you, right? So 3 or 4 years ago, right during COVID, I had this woman who I was looking at houses with, right? And she was looking at like $350,000 houses. She thought that was all that she could afford. So we were like spazzing out. We probably looked at 40 different houses, $350,000 or less. She couldn't find anything she wanted. And I said, why don't you just go get pre-approved, right? I've shown you some houses. I don't usually do this. why don't you go get pre-approved, right? You're not finding anything that you like. Let's see if your lender can find you a few extra dollars, right? She ended up getting pre-approved for $500,000. She wasn't even looking at houses anywhere near her budget, right?
Yeah.
But the human brain, a lot of us are cynical. So we just assume the worst. We assume that this is all we can afford, right? And on the opposite end, you don't want to be out there looking at $600,000 Zillow houses when all you can afford is $450,000. Because guess what? Now everything you see in your price range, you're not going to like. You've been looking at $600,000 houses on Zillow, you know, doing what I call the millennial masturbation, where you look at things that you can't afford. And then when you see the houses that you actually can afford, you're like, oh, that bitch is ugly, right? Like it's the same issue that you guys are having over and over. And if you get pre-approved and just see where you're at financially, it eliminates a lot of those issues and a lot of those mistakes that people are making.
Yeah, and then you can really dial in the house that you really want.
Yeah. All right. So you've gotten your financials into order, right? You've gotten your credit, your income, your assets. You went and spoke to Bill. You got pre-approved. The next step is house hunting. This is what HGTV makes look easy, but in reality is an emotional roller coaster and train wreck, okay? So I know you guys watch your TV shows where it's like, hi, I'm Sally, and I'm a part-time dog therapist, and this is my husband, John, and he rakes leaves at the local charity park, and we're looking at a $2 million house in Nashville, Tennessee, right? In reality, it's not like that. It's like, hey, my wife's a teacher in Nevada struggling to make ends meet, and I work for, sanitation department. We are trying to combine to buy a $500,000 house in a nice school district where there's not too much crime. Okay, that's reality, right? This is why house hunting can be a bit of a trick for people, but to me, out of all the steps, this is the easiest of the steps. Step 3 is the easiest of the steps. Because once you sit down with a realtor, such as myself, and we ask you important questions, not about the house, but about your lifestyle. What's important to you? Do you have kids? Do you have dogs? Do you need to live somewhere close and convenient? Do you travel for work? What's important to you? Once we know those things, house hunting actually becomes really easy. We can narrow down a certain section of the city and say, hey, look, if you step outside of this section, the crime goes up. Or your journey to work goes up, right? This is the box that we need to stay within, right?
Well, and getting into that box, it's got to be a lot easier for the home buyer, right? Because all of a sudden, if you have too many homes and too many areas and too much, then it's information overload and they have 100%. A hard time making a decision.
If you're looking, okay, right now in Vegas, if you're looking at a house between $400,000 and $500,000, there's 1,083 houses on the market in Las Vegas and Pahrump. 1,083 houses between $400,000 and $500,000. I can't send you that list. What does that mean to you?
Oh my gosh.
100%. What does that mean to you?
Yeah.
So we have to narrow things down. Okay. Do you want a pool? Great. Now we're down to 280 houses. Oh, do you want a backyard of a certain size? Great. Now we're down to 100 houses. Does your kid want to go to a certain school? Great. Now we're down to 3 houses, right? We very quickly eliminated a lot of bad options and narrowed it down to good ones. One of the biggest mistakes that you guys make during house hunting is not being honest with your realtor, making us beat it out of you and force it out of you with a bunch of stupid questions, right? Be honest with your realtor. Tell them we know you're emotional people. When you say, I just want a 3-bed, 2-bath that's comfortable, we know you're full of shit. Tell us the truth. Why are you buying this house? Are you trying to escape an ex-wife? Do you want to put your kids in a better neighborhood than you grew up in? Do you want to feel safe? Do you want to live in a certain part of the city? Do you like to drink a lot and you want to live close to Lee's? Like, whatever your thing is, don't be embarrassed. All you're doing is helping me find a better house for you. Right? House hunting, honestly, and I mean this, is the easiest part of the real estate process.
Well, and it's the most fun too, because you know that you can afford it. And so the next step is, oh, this house I can afford. I like this house. And then they can go for and make an offer on it, correct?
Yes. The single biggest mistake people make while hunting for houses, and ladies, no offense, but I'm talking to you. Stop caring about stupid shit like the paint color. We just repainted our entire house. It's not hard. You can fix the paint. The paint is not important.
You got a brand new home.
And we got a brand new home.
And you painted it different.
So we painted it. You focusing on things that don't matter Inconsequential. If you don't like the color of a couple doors, fix the colors of doors. Oh, I don't like the bathtub. Get a new bathtub. These things are inconsequential to the value and the equity of the home. What's important is the location of the home, the layout of the home, and the neighborhood that you're in. Everything else is fixable, right?
Yes.
Stop focusing on small, unimportant things, all right? So you've gotten pre-approved. You've gotten your finances in order. You've hunted for a home. You found the perfect home. Now it's time to make an offer. And let me break a lot of your guys' hearts. The first thing any good realtor is going to tell you is don't fall in love with any home. It sucks to tell you this. It sucks to be the bearer of bad news. But much like real estate's like dating, this idea of soulmates is just as stupid as the perfect house. There's a girl in China who could be perfect for you. You won't know because you're never going to meet her, right? There's a million houses that can be perfect for you. There is no the one. It's something you tell yourself when you get excited, right? Don't fall in love with a house because it makes writing your contract so much harder. Because now I'm not writing a contract to save you money. I'm writing a contract to help your emotions cope with losing the house, right? I don't have any leverage when you love the house because now I have to do whatever it takes, even if it's a bad deal, even if I'm losing negotiating power, I have to do whatever it takes to get you this house because you love it.
I have a question for you. So if you bring clients in,
Yep.
the listing agent is at the house.
Yep.
Do you say anything to the buyers to
Yes.
say, don't show any emotion? Or because I've seen people go, oh, this is perfect for us.
If I know the agent's going to be there, I'm prepping my clients in a text the night before. I'm prepping them in a call the day before. And as we pull up to the house, I'm grabbing him by the shirt. I'm like, you shut the fuck up. Don't you say a word. You shut the fuck up. Just walk through the house. I will do all the talking. You just walk through the house and you leave. And I'll sit there and I'll talk to the agent. I'll small talk him to death. Hey, how you doing? Oh, how you doing? I'm Brandon. Oh, yeah. How's the house going? I'll talk to the agent for 5 minutes. We'll get out of there. She'll say, what'd you guys think of the house? I'll say, they love the house. And we just leave. Don't talk to the agent. I'm not trying to lose any negotiating power because you and your wife want to tell the agent how this house is the one of your dreams and perfect for your kids. In her head, she goes, great. I'm not giving them a single closing cost.
Yep.
Right? Don't lose me leverage because you want to fall in love with a house. Right? When we're writing an offer, the most important thing I need to know, and this comes back to honesty, is what's most important to you? What's most important to you? Are you trying to get the best deal possible? Okay, then I need to negotiate closing cost. Are you trying to make the most equity possible? Okay, I need to negotiate the list price. Do you want to do a quick close? Okay, we may need to negotiate this. Are you looking for a longer close? We may need to give up that, right? The more honest you are with me, the better I can negotiate the deal. Remember, the only leverage that I have is the leverage you give me.
Right.
If you're not willing to walk away from a deal, I have no leverage, right? If you're not willing to draw a line in the sand and say, okay, listen, if they don't give us this house with 10,000 closing costs, we're walking away. If you're not willing to walk away, I have no leverage to stand on. Right. My offer is completely dependent on you, your honesty, and your
Resolve.
your chutzpah.
Yes.
Your resolve. There we go. I was going to say balls, but your resolve.
That's probably a better word.
Your resolve, right?
Yes.
If you're not willing to stand tall and reject it, that's why I'd say don't fall in love with a house. Because if you're not willing to reject that house, I have no leverage at all.
Yeah. The one thing that I see quite a bit, Brandon, is a lot of people become very myopic, basically looking right here very closely and say, this is what I want to spend.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at. And what they realize is this is a point in time. This is a point in time right now. And many times they have the ability, it may be a great house for them, but they're so focused on just this moment in time that they don't look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is the likelihood that they're going to be in that house 7 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's a long time. Will that house last you for 7 to 10 years? Is a little bit higher sale price or a little bit higher interest rate because of changes in rates, will that allow you to have the house that you want for 7 to 10 years?
When you're buying your first, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to say, and if you look back 7 to 10 years, what was your life like 7 to 10 years ago?
There we go.
Right? Things change, and don't look at it from the bigger picture standpoint is my opinion.
That's great. In fact, I'm glad you threw that in there. A lot of first-time buyers, because it's the most money they've ever spent, they're like, okay, this is my big thing. I'm going to own this big thing forever. Brother, in 5 to 7 years, you might have gotten divorced. You might have gotten married. You might have gotten remarried. You might have kids. You might have 3 kids. You don't know, right? So thinking that this 3-bedroom, 2-bath is your final home is crazy. You might wake up 5 years later with 3 kids and be like, oh shit, I need a 5-bedroom, right? You can't, I know it's a lot of money. I'm aware, okay? As someone who grew up broke as hell, I'm quite aware of how much money all of this cost. But understand the average person lives in a house for 5 to 7 years.
Yeah. I had a home buyer today that I spoke to, bought a townhouse 4 years ago. They now have 3-year-old twins and a 6-month-old. Yeah. And they're like, we're on top of each other. We have to go get a new house.
Immediately.
And so things change.
100%. So now you've made an offer. Your offer has gotten accepted. You found your house. It's exciting. And here comes the emotional roller coaster. Okay? Here comes the emotional roller coaster. The first thing I need to tell you guys is you're going to sign your name so much over the next 30 days that you're going to start hating your own name. You're going to see your name in print and just be like, I'm so sick of the name Brandon, right?
Your arm's going to fall off.
Your arm's going to fall off. It's an emotional roller coaster because you signed for that house, it gets accepted, and you're like, yay, yeah. And then your wife starts telling you all the things that could possibly go wrong for 30 days straight.
You're lying in bed going, did we do the right thing?
Oh, you're lying in bed, and she just rolls over and she goes, what if lightning hits the house and it catches on fire and we lose all of our deposit? And you're like, whoa, I hadn't even thought of that fear. Thank you for putting that one on me. And then you're laying there in bed and she's just like, well, what if the dogs don't like the house and they refuse to pee inside and now we're stuck with a house that our dogs hate? And it's like, oh, okay, fears at it, right? It's an emotional roller coaster because it's like, here comes the inspection. Oh, is the inspection bad? Oh, no, it's good. Okay. Ooh. Well, here comes the appraisal. Is the appraisal bad? Oh, no, it's good, right? The best advice I can give to you guys over the next 30 days is to stay even-keeled. It's hard to do, especially in this world where everything is so emotional all the time. But for 30 days, you got to stay even-keeled. Things are going to go right. Things might go wrong. But you have a team.
I was going to say, lean on the people that are helping you out, that know what they're doing, that have seen it, that understand it. So Brandon is a master at this.
You hired a realtor not to show you homes. You hired a realtor to deal with your stress. If you have a question, some of my clients call me at 11:30 at night because they're stressing out, and I'll sit there and talk them off the ledge. My job is to deal. Look at all these gray hairs. Y'all see this shit?
Yeah, he does. Like, he's getting a lot of gray hairs.
36 years old, and I got gray hair like Obama. I look like I've been on a 8-term president, right? Like I'm an 8-year president. I look crazy because this is your guys' stress on my face. This is what I get paid to do. I don't get paid to show you homes. Zillow can show you homes. I get paid to deal with all the stress and the emotions and all the things that come with the 30-day close. You also have Bill. Bill will sit there and go over the numbers with you over and over again. He'll make sure that you guys feel comfortable, that you feel confident. You have an escrow team who will go over all the paperwork with you, explain what's happening and at what dates. You guys, I have a transaction team. So if I'm not enough, I have a transaction team that's excellent who will help walk you guys through everything and answer every question for you. The idea that you're buying a house alone is crazy. You have an entire team behind you. For 30 days, we are essentially your slaves. You can basically call us at any time, ask us any question, and we will jump up and answer it for you. That is our job, okay? Do not think you're doing this alone. Trust your team.
Yes.
Okay?
And me as grandfather can give that grandfatherly advice. I mean, I bought and sold 28 homes.
Yes. So. Now, I don't want to scare you guys, but we do want to be honest with you guys. Here are a few things that can go wrong in a transaction.
Okay.
1, you can get a really bad inspection and it could be thousands of dollars and you can freak out because it's like, holy crap, this house wasn't as nice as we thought it was. The solution to that is you get a request for repairs. You are allowed to ask a seller to repair anything in that house, right? If they're not willing to do it, and this is why I told you guys not to fall in love with the house. If the house is not in good shape and the seller's not willing to repair it, you need to back out. But if you fall in love with the house, you'll talk yourself into it, right? Don't do that. Don't do that. If we come back and like there's a hole in the roof that's been leaking for a year and the seller's not willing to fix it, okay, let's walk away. I don't care how much you like that house and how good the flower garden looked and the pretty red door. Let's walk away, right? It's going to cost you money. I'm going to have Bill cover the next thing. Bill, the appraisal can come in bad.
Yeah, so the appraisal can come in bad, but that's okay because you have a contingency that if it does not appraise, you can back out of the contract. So there's basically three things that happen with that. Number one, if it appraises for less than what you put in the sale price, you can back out immediately.
So for instance, if you offered $400,000 and the house appraises for $395,000, you can back out. You're not forced to buy a house that's cheap. Yep.
Number two, you can agree that if you are in love with the house and you have the emotions and this is the house for the long term, you can pay that difference.
Yep.
But you have to come out of pocket for the difference.
The lender will not give you that $5,000 because the lender can't pay for a house that's not valued at what it is.
And then third, what I see most often is that there's a negotiation between the buyer and the seller, and they typically will come to an agreement. Many times they split the difference and everyone's happy.
Yes. That is the most common recourse. That's the most common course of action from a low appraisal. It depends. Now, if the appraisal comes in like $30,000 lower, we have an issue, right? There's been a mispricing by the listing agent. The appraiser's been a jerk, whatever. $30,000 is the gap that's hard to close. Typically, we try to do some negotiation on both sides.
But here's the thing that we've seen, and I know that this guy has done it many, many times because he's the master. We saw one time where the appraisal came in at, I think it was 60,000 over, 60,000 over the sale price. Now, the seller doesn't know that because that's all kept confidential inside. The communication to the other side is the property appraised at value.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep.
But they started out with $60,000 up front on the value. So
if
that
your
can happen
house,
too.
Yes.
I just had one the other day, came in at 20,000 above.
100%. Guys, if your house appraises above what you paid it for, so let's say, again, you offered $400,000 and it appraised for $420,000, buy your realtor dinner. They just made you $20,000, right?
Yeah, like
they just made you $20,000. Buy them dinner, right? And move on with it, you know? All right. Bill?
Yes.
The 5 steps aren't that hard, right? The 5 steps aren't that hard, right? The way we walked you through it, we've basically taught you guys how to not only complete the 5 steps, but to do it in a manner that you still have enough money to buy a new couch or, you know, buy the fancy top ramen that you'll be eating for the next year and a half while you recuperate the money that you just spent, right? We're not telling people that it's easy. We're telling them that it's simple. It's 5 steps. Talk to you. Get financially prepped. Get pre-approved once they're financially prepped. Look for a house within their financial range. Make an offer based on their best financials. Move into the house and save money, right? It's a 5-step process that isn't hard. It's not complicated,
right?
But it does require discipline. It does require you to sacrifice a few things, right? You probably can't live the same renter lifestyle and accomplish these 5 things. Am I right?
Correct.
The current lifestyle you have is a renter lifestyle. That's what keeps you renting. If you want to switch to a homeowner lifestyle, you're going to have to sacrifice and lose some stuff along the way.
Yeah, and what history has shown is that homeowners have 40 times the net worth of a renter.
Yep.
And it's not only the equity in their home, Brandon, but because they move into the buyer mode and they start becoming more financially savvy. They start going, okay, I need to start saving for retirement, or I need to, get some life insurance and do a cash policy. And they become much more financially savvy over time, which allows them to basically build their net worth.
Yep. Bill, we have a new segment to debut today. Yep. We're doing live listener Q&A. where we have people on the YouTube asking questions, and we're going to get their questions answered live. That's why we want you guys here at 10 a.m. live, so we can get you guys in here, get your questions answered, have you guys be a part of the show. So, Austin,
what do we got?
Listener Q&A.
Yeah, there's no music for this?
We're making our own jingles.
Okay.
We have several questions. So the first one comes from Charles Clark, and it says, how do I start to buy a home with a low credit score?
The nice thing is, if you have a low credit score, it can be repaired, right? So it's just a matter of going through it. It may take some time to do it, but once you understand what the issues are with your credit, then we can do it. And I've seen, again, tens of thousands of credit reports over my years, and I know enough to be dangerous, but if you need credit repair, we have a great credit repair person that I can connect you with.
See, Bill's the good cop. I'm not. Charles Clark, you know damn well you can't buy jack shit with your credit score where it's at. You don't need us to tell that. You know that, Charles Clark. You know it. You know where your credit score. And here's the thing, Charles Clark. I'm 100% positive your credit score has been there for quite a while. You didn't just wake up yesterday and be like, oh, my credit score sucks, right? It's something that you've known that you need to fix. The question I have for you, Charles Clark, is why haven't you fixed it? Why haven't you taken it as seriously as you should? Once you find the answer to that question, Charles, I think everything will fall into place. But the same discipline and hard work you need to start the 5 steps is the same discipline and hard work you need to get your credit score where it needs to be. All right? That's the honest answer I can give to you.
And from grandfather, the 3 things, credit, income, assets, credit is typically the easiest to improve.
100%. Guys, I went from a nothing credit score out of college, nothing, literally in debt, hospital debt, everything, to now I just checked recently and I'm in like the mid 700s, okay?
Credit's a game.
It's a game.
You got to learn how to play it.
It's time to play the game.
Get in the game, baby.
Triple H. You got any more questions?
We have several, yeah. So Amando Alejandro says, what price per square foot should I be looking for right now?
That's a great question. Okay. If you're in Summerlin, honestly, anything under 300 per square foot in Summerlin right now is what you're going to be looking at. In most of Vegas, if you can get something between like 225, 250, I think you're still in a good range, especially if you're in like Henderson, Green Valley, Sky Canyon, Inspirada, something like that. What you're most likely going to see is things between like 250 and 290. So I would say anything under 250 in a nice area, you're looking at a pretty good list price per square foot. Man, somebody asked you a real question.
That was a good one.
That's our first real.
I was honestly, I wanted to know it. I liked your answer.
It's good.
I didn't know.
So the next one is from Willie Mendez. Says, when doing a cash out refi, do I need to season the funds before investing them? Like with like paprika or
like Laurie's?
Put salt and pepper on it. No, once you receive the funds, you can go out and invest it. So if you do a cash out refinance, you close on the loan, you receive the monies from the escrow company, from the title company, the proceeds, those proceeds are yours and you can use those at any time.
Hey, Bill, I know what a cash out refinance is, but I don't know if Austin knows what a cash out refinance is. Could you explain what that would mean?
Really good. Yeah. So a cash out refinance is where essentially you're doing a refinance on the equity within your home. So let's say, for example, you have a $500,000 home and you owe $300,000. You want to do a cash out refinance to get $100,000, so you'd get a new loan amount of $400,000, and you'd receive that $100,000 in cash. You'd have a new loan of $400,000.
There you go.
Does that make sense, Austin? Did I explain that okay? Okay, good.
Next question from London R asks, is it better to go through an outside lender on new builds or through the builder's lender?
Oh, okay. Well, this is very easy to answer, okay? If you catch a new build while they're desperate, they're working with their lender is how you get the extreme deals. No new build. When you guys see the new build advertising and they're like, we'll give you this much off and we'll give you this interest rate, it comes with the implied notion that you will be using their lender, right? The trade-off here is that their lender is going to charge you higher fees for literally everything, okay? I've compared new build lending fees to Bill's fees. Bill's fees are lower. The new builder's going to charge you the transfer tax. They're going to charge you higher things on every part of the closing cost sheet, right? The trade-off is if they might be giving you, let's say, $40,000 off and a 3.99 interest rate. What I would advise all of you guys to do when you're going to look at new builds, have the new build send you a closing cost sheet with the incentives included, then call Bill and have him give you a net sheet comparable. If the new build isn't giving you big enough incentives, I would go with Bill because he's going to save you money on the front end. If the new build is offering you some insane rate or like $40,000, $50,000 in closing costs, something like that, dude, me and Bill are both going to tell you the same thing. Save your $40,000 to $50,000 or get your. One of the Lennar ones did like a 1.99 interest rate for the first year.
Yeah, I'm realistic. Like if they're giving a good deal, you got to go for it.
Yeah.
And even though they may be charging more fees, there's nothing that I could really do because they're not going to give you the incentive by using me. So
100%.
You just got to go with the builder. But on the other side, I also do want to say that sometimes the lenders with the builders, it's mortgage in a box. And if you don't fit their box, it doesn't work. We just got one done of yours for Lennar because they couldn't get them approved, and we got them approved.
All right, not to brag.
This is good.
But we did get my client both the lender, the builder incentives, and we got Bill as the lender. The only reason we were able to accomplish this is because the builder stated that they were able to fund his loan. We went under contract, and then while we were under contract, the builder stated that they could no longer fund his loan. The only reason they let us switch to Bill is because they didn't want to get caught in a lawsuit for liability for promising something that they could not follow through with. So we got both the incentives and we got to use Bill as the lender. But this is a rare situation, and it requires you being a very good real estate agent.
And a really good lender that knows how to get people approved.
Next question from Laura Pantoja asks, I'm in northeastern Illinois and just started house hunting. My realtor always wants us to overbid. Is this now normal? Is this the market? Is the market this competitive?
Every real estate market's different. Bill will tell you that. Bill's worked in San Diego where the market is like, dude, if the house gets listed today, you better be putting an offer in within 24 hours, right? It's San Diego. It's super competitive. Same with Summerlin. In Summerlin, you got about 7 days to bid on a great house.
Yeah, if it's a good house,
you got to go. 100%. Your area of Illinois might be a hyper-competitive area, right? You might be looking at the Summerlin of your city. So there's no way for me to know without knowing more information about your city and your city's landscape and its market, right? But if your agent is telling you that you need to be competitive, I would trust them. Now,
listen,
you don't have to blindly follow them. You can still put in a normal offer. But here's the thing. If your first, let's say 2 to 3 offers get rejected because you're not overbidding, maybe your realtor's right? You don't have to blindly follow your realtor. They're there. Your realtor is an advisor. We are advisors. We are Jafar. That's it. We are just the advisors to the Sultan, right? You get to make the decision. So I can suggest you bidding over, but if you say, nope, just give them list price, that's what I write the offer as. Now, if you get rejected, if you lose 3 to 4 offers, your realtor might be right and you might need to bid over.
Agree.
I'm Jafar. That's basically what I am.
Okay. The next question it's from Charles against is how I'm on disability. How do I buy a house?
Disability is absolutely income that you can use. And typically, if it's not taxed, we do what's called gross up. So the disability income goes up by 25%, and that's the qualifying income that we would use. So it's 100% usable, and we just have to make sure that it would continue for 3 years.
Yep.
Last question is from Machiavelli, 1996, New York City.
Oh, that's Vegas Tupac. I know that dude, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So question is, I currently have one job. I am interviewing for a second job because I have the bandwidth for it and I want to save. How can I ensure that my buying power is based on my new income?
Tell him, Bill.
So if you're working 2 jobs, you have to show that you've been working 2 jobs for 2 years. So if you've been at one place for 2 years, we can use that income. If you have only been at the second place for 6 months, we more than likely cannot use that income. So you got to have a 2-year history to show that you have the stamina. To actually work the 2 jobs.
Yeah, lenders, and this is just being real. Anybody who's loaning you money is going to need a history that proves that you're willing to work as hard as you're working now. Anybody can work 5 jobs for a week, but can you sustain 5 jobs for 2 years? Right? Because that's what you're going to need to pay that mortgage that you're qualifying for.
Yeah.
So the 2 years is just to prove to the person loaning you money that you can stick with 2 jobs for a length of period that they deem to be reasonable.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Right? Not bad. I like the listener Q&A thing.
Yeah,
which is
that's
why
good.
more of you need to pop in on the YouTube. We're live on Tik. We're live on IG. But if you guys want to get your questions answered the way we do them live right here, you want to hop on the YouTube live at about 10 a.m. on Thursdays. We answer all viewer questions. If you leave us a comment, I go through on the weekends and I answer all viewer comments. So does Bill. So we want you guys to engage. We want you guys to interact. We know that you are not getting real estate education in high school, in college, from your parents. We know they don't teach this stuff anywhere. So don't be embarrassed by your questions. Nobody here thinks you're stupid. Nobody here thinks you're dumb. I think you're dumb if you don't ask questions. I think you're dumb if you don't take advantage of free education like we're doing here. Between Bill and I, between Bill, we've got like 100 years of real estate education, and I can give my own 2 cents of what I've learned over the past few years, right? We're here to help you guys. Bill, tell them how they can reach you.
You can reach me at billgaylord.com or 858-776-6830. His big head's in the way, though.
That's why we need to move it over there, man. My head's blocking all the crowd. And if you guys want to ask me a question directly, you can find me at Brandon from Vegas on pretty much any social media platform. We're live right now on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You guys can reach me on any of these platforms. Ask me a question directly. My phone number is right on the real estate form, so you guys can contact me directly. I'm here to help you guys whatever you can. No matter what state you're in, we're here to help. Bill is capable of working all 50 states. I have lenders in all 50 states. I mean, not lenders, agents in all 50 states. We're here to help you guys no matter what city or state that you guys are in, Illinois to New York to Vegas. So reach out to us. Tune in next week as we cover how Las Vegas, how nightclubs are like real estate. That's going to be pretty interesting.
Gonna be a good one.
That's going to be a good one. And as always, man, thank you guys for your time. Peace, 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 peace. Come and be my neighbor.